Let me ask you something personal, but important. Have you ever found yourself sitting in the bathroom, waiting, hoping, and nothing happens? Or maybe it does, but it feels like you've just wrestled a bear by the time it's over. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. After 60, our bodies don't always move the way they used to. And I'm not just talking about our joints. Constipation becomes one of those nagging little problems we often don't talk about. It's not exactly dinner table conversation, right? But it is something that can deeply affect your comfort, your mood, your sleep, even your appetite. The good news is this doesn't have to be your new normal. You don't have to live with it. In fact, the answer could be right there on your plate. Just a few simple changes, just a few specific foods can work like magic for your digestion, and I'm excited to share them with you today. Because let's be real, once we hit our 60s, everything starts shifting. Our metabolism slows down, our muscle tone softens, and yes, even the muscles in our digestive tract need a little help to keep things moving smoothly. That's where the right foods come in. We're going to talk about 5 powerful, natural options that can get things moving again, gently, naturally, and without relying on pills or powders. And here's the best part. These aren't exotic, hard-to-find ingredients. You won't need to scour the aisles of a fancy health store or spend a fortune. These are everyday foods you can easily add to your routine, and the results can be life-changing. Let's start with a food that might surprise you, because it's often overlooked: chia seeds. Tiny, right? But don't let their size fool you. These little seeds pack a mighty punch when it comes to fiber. And fiber, as you probably know, is the key player in keeping our digestion regular. Chia seeds are special because they contain both soluble and insoluble fiber. That means they not only bulk up your stool, but also help it pass more easily through your intestines. And here's where it gets interesting. They form a gel-like texture when mixed with water. So when you eat them, they literally help create a smoother, more hydrated stool. Think of them like nature's little plumbing assistants, gently sweeping your system clean. You can sprinkle them into oatmeal, blend them into smoothies, or even stir them into yogurt. Just make sure you drink plenty of water, because that's what activates their magic. Now, while we're on the topic of hydration, we can't ignore one of the most powerful and comforting foods for digestion: prunes. Yep, good old-fashioned prunes. They've been the butt of jokes for decades, but they are truly one of nature's most effective remedies for constipation. And no, they're not just for your grandparents, although they probably knew what they were doing. Prunes are rich in both fiber and a natural compound called sorbitol. Sorbitol acts like a gentle laxative by pulling water into the intestines, making stools easier to pass. But unlike harsh medications that can cause cramping or urgency, prunes work with your body, slow and steady. You might even start to enjoy them. They're sweet, chewy, and just 2 or 3 a day can make a noticeable difference. And if you're not a fan of eating them straight, try blending a few into a smoothie with banana and almond milk. It tastes like dessert, but your digestive system will be singing with gratitude. Now I want to pause here for a second, because it's not just about the fiber, it's about creating a routine that supports your body's natural rhythm. That includes staying active, drinking water, and giving your gut the foods it actually needs to thrive. When you're in your 60s and beyond, it's easy to feel like your body's working against you, but the truth is, it's just asking for a little extra support. And that brings me to another quiet hero in the world of digestion: avocados. Oh yes, these creamy green beauties are not only delicious, but they're loaded with fiber, plus healthy fats that help keep your digestive system lubricated and running smoothly. What I love about avocados is how versatile they are. You can mash them on toast, mix them into salads, or even blend them into a chocolate pudding. Yes, really. Plus, they're rich in magnesium, which plays a subtle but important role in muscle movement throughout your body, including the muscles in your colon. If you've ever experienced slow or sluggish digestion, getting enough magnesium might help things along in a very gentle, natural way. And avocados deliver that, along with that satisfying full feeling that keeps you from reaching for snacks all day. It's about nourishing your body, not depriving it. And when you nourish it well, everything just works better. Your energy improves, your mood lifts, and you stop carrying that uncomfortable bloated feeling that can weigh you down more than most people realize. So many people assume constipation is just something you have to accept as you get older, but that couldn't be further from the truth. It's not about age, it's about awareness. And when you become aware of what your body needs and start giving it the right kind of fuel, everything can change. We've talked about chia seeds, prunes, and avocados, each one powerful in its own way. But there are still more foods that can truly turn things around for your digestion and help you feel lighter, more energized, and just more comfortable in your own skin. Let's keep going. There's another food that might already be in your fridge, just waiting to help you out. You know, it's funny how sometimes the simplest things, foods we've been eating for years, can be the very things that support our bodies the most. And the next food I want to talk about might surprise you because it's so common, so everyday, that most people don't even think about it as a digestive aid. But let me tell you, if you've got a container of yogurt sitting in your fridge right now, you might be holding one of the most powerful allies for your gut health. I'm talking about plain, probiotic-rich yogurt. Not the kind filled with sugar and artificial flavors, but the kind that's creamy, simple, and full of live, active cultures. These live cultures, those good bacteria, are what your digestive system thrives on, especially as you get older. See, inside your gut is a whole community of bacteria working behind the scenes to help you digest food, absorb nutrients, and yes, keep your bowel movements regular. But as we age, that delicate balance of good bacteria can get thrown off, whether it's from medication, stress, changes in diet, or just time itself. Adding yogurt to your diet helps replenish those friendly bacteria, making your digestive system more efficient and balanced. And when your gut is balanced, things just move better. You feel less bloated, you're more regular, and there's this quiet kind of energy that returns when your gut isn't struggling in the background. Now, if you're someone who doesn't love yogurt straight from the spoon, don't worry, you can get creative. Stir it into a fruit parfait with some blueberries and a drizzle of honey. Add a spoonful to a smoothie in the morning, or use it as a creamy topping for baked sweet potatoes or soups. There are so many easy ways to work it into your routine, and once you do, your gut will thank you. Now, speaking of sweet potatoes, let's talk about those for a minute, because they're next on our list, and for good reason. Sweet potatoes are one of the most nourishing, grounding foods you can eat. They're rich in soluble fiber, which slows down digestion just enough to allow your body to absorb nutrients properly, while still keeping things moving smoothly through your system. They're also full of complex carbohydrates, which help fuel the muscles in your gut and keep everything working in sync. What I love about sweet potatoes is how gentle they are. If you've ever had a sensitive stomach or a digestive system that feels irritated, sweet potatoes can be calming and soothing, almost like comfort food for your gut. You can bake them, mash them, roast them with a little olive oil and cinnamon. They're incredibly versatile and naturally sweet without needing any added sugar. But here's something most people don't realize. When you eat the skin along with the flesh, you're doubling the fiber benefits. That skin is full of insoluble fiber, the kind that acts like a gentle scrub brush for your intestines, helping move waste through more efficiently. So if your system feels sluggish or you're feeling backed up, adding sweet potatoes, skin and all, can make a real difference over just a few days. And again, this isn't about overhauling your entire diet overnight. It's about slipping in these nourishing foods one by one in a way that feels natural, doable, and even enjoyable. Because let's be honest, if it doesn't taste good or feel satisfying, we're not going to stick with it. That's why I focus on foods that actually bring joy to the table, not just function. We deserve that, especially after 60. And while we're talking about comfort and satisfaction, there's one more food I want to share with you today that brings both. It's juicy, refreshing, and often associated with summer picnics. But it's actually a secret weapon when it comes to staying regular. That's right, I'm talking about watermelon. Now you might be thinking, watermelon, isn't that mostly water? And you'd be right, it's about 92% water, but that's exactly what makes it so helpful. One of the most common causes of constipation, especially in older adults, is dehydration. We often don't feel as thirsty as we used to, or we forget to drink enough throughout the day. And when we're low on fluids, our stools become harder and more difficult to pass. Watermelon is like nature's hydration station. It's not only loaded with water, but it also contains small amounts of fiber, making it a two-in-one helper for digestion. Eating watermelon is an easy way to sneak in extra hydration while satisfying your sweet tooth in a healthy way. And because it's so gentle on the system, it can be especially helpful for anyone dealing with occasional constipation or bloating. You can enjoy it sliced up fresh, blended into a refreshing drink, or even tossed into salads with mint and feta cheese for a surprisingly tasty twist. And just like with the other foods we've talked about, it's about consistency, not perfection. A few slices here, a serving of yogurt there, a sweet potato at dinner. It all adds up. Little by little you start to feel the difference. It's one of those things that sneaks up on you in the best way. One day you realize you're not feeling as bloated. Your clothes fit a little more comfortably. You're not dreading that trip to the bathroom anymore. It's a quiet kind of transformation, but it's powerful. Because when your digestive system is working well, your whole body feels lighter. You move with more ease. Your mind feels clearer. You're not carrying around that heaviness, literally or emotionally. And honestly, at this stage in life, we deserve to feel light. We deserve to feel good in our bodies, not burdened by them. It doesn't take massive effort, just gentle, intentional care. The right foods, the right rhythm, a little patience, and a lot of self-kindness. There's still one more food I want to share with you. One more gentle hero that can really seal the deal when it comes to getting your digestive system back on track. So let's keep going. So far, we've talked about some wonderful foods that work quietly behind the scenes to help your body find its natural rhythm again. Chia seeds, prunes, avocados, yogurt, sweet potatoes, and even juicy watermelon. But there's one more food I've saved for last. Not because it's any less important, but because it's often the most overlooked. It's not flashy. It doesn't come in bright packaging, and you won't see it advertised on TV, promising miracle results. But when it comes to digestion and regularity, this one's a true workhorse. I'm talking about oats. Good old-fashioned oats. There's something so grounding about a warm bowl of oatmeal in the morning. It's cozy, it's nourishing, and most importantly, it's packed with the kind of fiber your body absolutely loves. Especially as you get older, the magic here is in a specific kind of soluble fiber called beta-glucan. This type of fiber absorbs water and forms a sort of thick gel inside your gut, which helps soften your stool and encourage smooth, natural movement through your digestive tract. But beyond the fiber, there's something almost therapeutic about starting your day with something warm, gentle, and filling. Oats don't just support your digestion, they support your energy, your focus, and that feeling of being cared for. And let's be honest, sometimes it's not just about what our body needs. It's about what makes us feel nourished and steady as we face the day ahead. And the beauty of oats is how versatile they are. You can make them sweet with fruit and cinnamon, or savory with a poached egg and spinach. You can cook them the traditional way or soak them overnight in milk or a milk alternative, and enjoy them cold in the morning. However you like them, just know that you're giving your body something deeply supportive every time you reach for that bowl. It's also worth mentioning that oats are incredibly gentle on the stomach. So if you're someone who's had digestive troubles, whether it's acid reflux, sensitivity, or just a touchy gut, oats can be a comforting choice that helps you reset without causing more irritation. Now I want to take a moment here to say something that's really important. Everything we've talked about, these foods, these gentle changes, they're not quick fixes. They're not going to make everything perfect overnight. But what they do offer is a gradual, natural return to balance. They give your body the tools it needs to take care of itself, and over time that creates real, lasting change. You might not notice a big difference after one bowl of oatmeal or a handful of prunes, but give it a week, 2 weeks. Let your body settle into this new rhythm. Pay attention to how you feel. You may begin to wake up without that sluggish, heavy feeling. You may find that trips to the bathroom are no longer something you dread, but just a normal, easy part of your day again. You may even feel a bit more energized. Because let's face it, when your gut feels better, everything feels better. Staying hydrated is absolutely essential. Fiber needs water to do its job properly. Without enough fluids, all that wonderful fiber can actually backfire and make you feel more backed up than before. So keep that water bottle closed, sip throughout the day, and give your body what it needs to stay soft, mobile, and flowing. A little movement each day helps too. I'm not saying you have to go out and run marathons, just gentle walks, light stretching, or even dancing around the living room can help stimulate your digestive system. It's about finding a pace that feels good and keeping your body in motion. Because everything in the body is connected, and when we move with care, we help all our systems work in harmony. And perhaps the most important piece of all, be kind to yourself. Really, so many of us carry quiet frustration about our bodies not working the way they used to. We blame ourselves, we get discouraged, but the truth is, your body has been doing its best for decades. It has carried you through everything life has thrown your way. It deserves your patience, your support, and your love. There's something incredibly powerful about choosing to care for yourself in these small but meaningful ways. Every time you reach for a food that supports your well-being, you're sending a message to yourself that you matter, that your comfort matters, that this chapter of life, your 60s, 70s, and beyond, is just as worthy of vitality, ease, and joy as any that came before. So as you start to bring these foods into your daily routine, take a moment to notice the little things, how your body responds, how your mood shifts, how much lighter, freer, and more grounded you begin to feel. These are not just physical changes. They're signs that your body is listening, responding, healing, and if you found even one new idea here that you're curious to try, that's a wonderful start. Start there. Add a spoonful of chia to your smoothie. Roast up some sweet potatoes with dinner. Try oatmeal instead of toast tomorrow morning. This journey doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to begin. If you've ever struggled with constipation, discomfort, or digestive ups and downs, please know that you are not alone. Millions of people face these same challenges, quietly, every day. But small changes really do lead to big relief. And you are absolutely capable of creating that change for yourself. I'd love to hear what works for you too. If there's a food or tip that's helped your digestion over the years, feel free to share it in the comments. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more people see it. And don't forget to subscribe if you'd like more simple, supportive health tips made especially for our age and stage of life. Here's to feeling lighter, more energized, and more at peace in your body, no matter what your birth certificate says. You deserve to feel good, you really do. So take care of yourself. You're worth it.